These polyphenols can help you have more energy, and polyphenols are great for athletes.
It sounds like it's going to help a whole lot more people than just bloating. Go to lovemytummy.com/Spoony.
There's a new food show sheriff in town, Podna. Trey's Chowdown Podcast Live will feature celebrity chefs and pitmasters with celebrity mixologists with creative cocktail menus from distilleries statewide. We'll have farmers, ranchers, wildlife experts, fishermen, and more, all for the culinary world and the foodies. Live from the Spoony Studios on the iHeartRadio platform, Trey's Chowdown Podcast Live. And here we are back again for another Trey's Chowdown Live. And I got some people in the studio today. It's going to be an exciting day. I got Chef Keith Button Hicks, which is now the Rim, and
Brent Johnson.
That's your last name a while ago. I should have done that.
No worries.
Brent is owner of the Rim and also Real Mambo, and we're going to talk about all this stuff. But I want to talk about hot topics first. As y'all know, I touched on this, I think, last week, but I just wanted to say it again. After 28 years, Primo's Tex-Mex in Dallas closed in 2013, and they're bringing it back. After 5 years of bringing it back, same location. I don't know how that happened, but they are.
That's good news. They're a great operation.
Yeah, they're bringing it back, and it's gonna have a. They're kind of involved in they're involved in the menu, but the original location is what gets me. I don't know how they did that. I guess something didn't work there.
Man, I've been buried in Fort Worth so long, I didn't realize they closed in 13.
Yeah,
Wow.
And Bella Greens, which I love that new concept. They've debuted their new seasonal menu. Everything over there is great. It's gluten-free. It's all made from scratch, and they'll even change every order to your request. And then the next thing I want to talk about, which I still think is so funny, is they have a new, I don't know who's doing this or who's the financial wizard behind this deal, but they're putting up these pokey-themed restaurants. The first one's going to be in New York. Everything's going to be pokey-themed hamburgers. It blows me away in Manhattan. They're going to go from Manhattan to L.A., Miami, and Dallas. So
come on, Chef, get up on that pokey stuff, bro.
Pokemon.
You talking about like the tuna deal?
Yeah, the Pokemon. No, the Pokemon cartoon.
Man, come on with it. Let's do it.
It's pokey-themed, huh? It's going to be 1 month in each city.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Okay. All right, so we got that out of the way. So now we're going to get down to business here. We're going to talk to Keith and Brent.
I ain't got no tune for you.
All right, Keith. So, you've been on the show before, and you've tell us a bit about what happened. You've left Buttons now, and you're at the Rim. So tell us kind of what's going on. You're down there now full time?
Yeah, I got unbuttonized, and now I'm me and my partner here, Brent Johnson, gotten together, and I'm over at the Rim. And so it's a beautiful thing. It really is, Trey.
Now, the Rim's in Dallas. Dallas. I'm sorry, in Burleson.
Close.
Burleson, right?
Close. Yep,
yeah,
Burleson.
close. Burleson. And when y'all started this deal, wasn't this your idea together, or did y'all kind of collaborate on the deal when it first started?
Yeah, well, when I started the idea behind it, I always knew I wanted great food to be at the core of it.
Sure.
Of course, when I think about great food, I think about Keith.
Right.
And he and I have been trying this reunion for a while, and we're always about a inch or two off success.
Right.
So we cooked together back in the end of 2017, and he was getting a little separation anxiety. So
yeah, I had it bad. Trey, he saw it all over my face.
Yeah,
she saw it all over my
of course.
face.
Of course.
It was my baby, but it was time to do it.
Yeah. What do they do? What do you do with the place when it's got your name on the building and the chef leaves? What do they do then?
I don't know, but I bet you some lawyers know what to do.
I'm sure.
So I mean, it's a little bit out of my. That's a little bit, but yeah, seriously. Get a big ass Sharpie and take care of that truck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. The truck's got your name on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went down to the Rim. Tell everybody a little bit of background about yourself. Where you're from, kind of how you got started, and then we're gonna go back to the Rim a little bit.
Well, let's talk. Okay, let me say how me and Brent got together.
Okay, that's perfect. Perfect.
So in like 2000, I came to Fort Worth and I started off at the Worthington. I told you this one.
Yeah.
And there was a guy, Lamonia. You probably know that cat.
Yep.
He was telling me how to hold my knife. He didn't have any teeth.
Yeah, I remember.
Tell me how to hold my knife.
I've played that segment about 3 times.
And so I was like, man, I got to get out of here. I went across the street to Risky's. I was like, yo, man, y'all hiring, trying to learn some barbecue. He said, no, but they're hiring across the street at Ellington.
Yeah.
And I came over and I met Brent. Brent was sitting out there in the, in the restaurant. He said, hey, yeah, I'll go back there and talk to the chef and see what happens. And that's how it started.
That's awesome. And so you started from there. Is that where you went from?
Yeah, I started there, and started off as a line cook, worked my way up to chef de cuisine, under Chris Ward and Brent Johnson. Then Brent left. That was a tearjerker. We both held each other's like, damn.
It's really kind of a similar story. Ellington was my father.
Oh, okay.
And so I was in a partnership with Air.
Oh, okay.
But the business end of it wasn't
Right.
working.
Sure.
We left very good friends.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I know Zach who still has the concept.
Right. Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
So it changed a few times. They sold it a few times, but it was very similar. So I could really appreciate what Keith was going through
Right.
and recognizing it. And I said, man, you got to get that out of your system. You can't serve two masters type deal.
No, you can't.
You just can't. You
cannot.
I've seen some good chefs try, and
It's impossible.
It just is. It just dilutes you. So I said you got to get that out of your system. I respect it. I understand it. I've been there.
Creates a lot of friction.
It just does.
Yeah.
It just does. And you ask what's going to happen with it. I think it's pretty predictable.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Me and Keith will open something again.
Right, for sure.
With Mr. Buttons on it. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, you mentioned Zach. Zach's doing well too.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
Really
he's,
good guy.
the one in Arlington. I mean, I've been there a couple times. I really like it.
Yeah, they did a nice
Yeah,
job with that space.
They did.
Yeah.
He really did.
Yeah.
So the menu, let's talk about it a little bit. You're gonna y'all have the menu already in place at the Rim, but you're gonna do some new stuff. Then you're gonna have a fall menu. Tell me a little bit about kind of what's at the Rim, what you're serving down there.
Okay, so you think Burleson, you think of big boys. They got the big toys,
Right.
the trucks and stuff, they're rolling in. So we're gonna keep it cool country.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, and that's what Brett. That's what we've always done. With that old Ebony Ivory connection. It's always like with Ellington's. It was like country cool
With soul.
with soul.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what it's gonna be.
We call the food American retro with a side of vibe, and we just added a punch of soul.
That's great. American Retro with a side of vibe. That's neat.
Yeah.
That's a great.
Yeah, that's kind of what I just want to take old things that people identify, bring them into the today,
Sure.
and have a little
Right.
twist on them. There's no one better to do that than Keith.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that when we first started the menu, even together before we had to go separate ways. It was all about what can we really produce out of this Airstream,
Right.
really high quality.
Yeah.
Scratch stuff. We don't want bar food, so to speak.
Right.
And so we were very, very cautious in terms of limiting the menu early on. And it's not kind of like we're going to grow into a 5-page menu.
Right,
That's
right.
never going to happen.
That's not- yeah.
We want, 15, 20, 25 items that are knock
They
your
can
head
be
off great.
executed.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, we every season we kind of, evolve.
Sure.
And so that's why I'm so excited. As I mentioned, we just kicked off some etouffee. Couldn't keep it in the trailer this weekend. So we're gonna feature a menu item, a recipe from the chef every 10 days, and then in the fall, we're gonna really get tuned up. We're gonna use the summer to practice.
That's good.
And execute. Yeah. Get it right.
You know,
and
those
then,
people down there got big appetites in Burleson too.
Oh, it's
man.
great.
We're not going to be serving this stuff up down there.
Oh, no.
Right. With the little sauce. Nah, they ain't getting none of that.
Ain't no
Gonna be real deal.
what's that, a moose boosh or
Yeah,
something? What is it?
Nah, ain't gonna be none of that. Yes.
What was your idea? What was your idea behind Rim when you started? What was the driving factor behind your idea to create the Rim?
Well, the space was there. When we built the Rio Mambo, I kind of laughed with the guy that owns the building. I said, hey, you got enough room for a Starbucks over there? And he kept on saying, hey, why don't you do something with it? Why don't you do something with it? And I said, man, I'm getting ready to be 60, so is my wife. I don't want her to have a baby. And having a new restaurant's like having a baby.
An infant.
Yeah, absolutely. You start all over.
Yeah.
And, we've been traveling and seeing these different concepts and, the whole gastropub thing.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to do something in that element, but, not gastropub. And I didn't want to do something that was bar food. So with all the trucks, the food trucks and all that stuff, I want to do a food truck inside of a restaurant, and from there, we started building it. And it's the first time I've ever converted a trailer into a kitchen.
Yeah.
And I promise you, should we do another one, it won't be in a 3-story building, okay? Because that was tough.
Did everything have to go up?
2 vents straight up, balance it, yeah.
Wow.
But you know what? Keith is already recognizing, if we know then what we know now, things will change, evolve.
Sure.
But right now, we're just trying to make the operation, pliable,
Sure.
and easy to approach from anyone. Guys can come in there shorts and sit at the bar and have a great cocktail and have an outstanding appetizer
For sure.
or eat. We had 2 people come in for brunch and had some brunch. We just want people to come in and relax. It's a really cool environment with the Marilyn Monroe room, the guitar lounge, and it's just fun. The music is great, which Keith and I have always been into the whole music, the whole experience thing.
Sure.
So, I'm excited to rev this menu up a little more.
They did a study. I don't know who. I read so much stuff about the restaurant business, but they did a study recently, like a month ago, or 2 months ago, and I was telling Teaser this from Dallas. It was interesting because they were asking people what their number one priorities were, like 1 through 10, and owning a car and owning a house now are way down the list. But what their number one was experiences. They want to go somewhere, eat food or drink, and have experiences. That's right. The younger people, and so that's a big thing, having experience. That's why so many places do well that have music, they have food, they have a vibrant atmosphere, and that's kind of what you have down there.
Absolutely, it's all together. It really is, Trey. People go out now, and the cool part about the Rim is people really enjoy the vibe and the ambiance and the great food. The bartenders have created some outstanding cocktails. The downside, if you will, from a business perspective, is they stay. They like to stay.
You can't turn the seats.
Hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, isn't it? That doesn't bother me. It's a good feel. It really is a good feel. So
as long as you're buying some beer or something, it's food.
It's it's that whole vibe that everyone's together. And Burleson's a perfect place for it because everyone knows each other. So they're sitting across the bar. You see someone over there and someone over there, and it's just it's fun. And that's what drove me to do it. I didn't want to start another restaurant per se. I thought, let's just have some fun. Let me pull some things out of my brain and just throw them up on the wall.
But that's a concept you could actually package up and put somewhere else.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Any neighborhood.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. We've
how did you get it in everything in the building that you did the food the trailer deal? How'd you do that?
Very carefully. It's funny. We just packed that bad boy in. We took the windows off of it. We had to do the measurements.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we had to take the axles off to lower it down. And
so it run
right, so it ran it in, and then of course we couldn't lift it too much because half of it's sticking out of the building.
Right.
But man, I had some good guys who had some great ideas, and that was only part of the deal. Then we put that wood burning oven on the back of it, and because it's just a great pizzas. It has some fun with pizzas.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
And so it was literally created as you go. We had a kind of a vision for it, but where you think you're going and where you end up.
Right.
But we were real flexible. I had some really talented guys who knew how to deal with stainless steel, and but it turned out real well. I'm real pleased with it.
So Keith, what's the menu like now? Like you said, there's like 20 things on the menu or 15 things on the menu.
Yeah, so right now it's like Britt said, it's retro, old school.
What's the most popular thing on the menu now?
Probably right now, I would have to say probably the chicken fried chicken.
Oh, yeah, your shrimp and grits. Shrimp and grits. We've had shrimp and grits. We've just upped the game on them, like Keith knows how to do with pork belly and everything else.
Pork belly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's phenomenal. I was eating some yesterday.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that belly.
No, you can't. So I think the shrimp and the grits,
for sure.
we do a mama's meatloaf.
That's really good.
We
really
just do it a little bit different way with vegetables.
How was the mama's meatloaf? See, I've only eaten one thing there, so I have only been there one time, so that's why I have to excuse my ignorance. I was going to try to get down there before y'all came on the show, and I was been so busy I couldn't get down there.
Right.
What's the meatloaf? How's the meatloaf made?
Well, we start out with it's a recipe that's been in the family for a long time. We do pork and ground beef.
Awesome.
We saute vegetables, red peppers, bell peppers, onions, mushrooms. We saute those. We mix them in with the meatloaf. We use the same sauteed in the gravy, and we cook them. One little pound loaf at a time, and
off the chain.
Oh,
It really is.
So you cook them 1 pound at a time.
Well, one little football
right,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So everyone gets their own little loaf, if you will.
Yeah.
And we did this together when we were at Ellington's. We just did some really comfort food, and we always talked about. I mentioned recently, we used to talk about Aunt Kizzy's back kitchen and back porch,
all of that.
Jezebel's up in New York, and Soul Sundays, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So we just looked at food that just is real comfortable but let's make them, approachable by anybody. So it's hard. It's hard. Meatloaf's hit and miss.
Yeah, I was just fixing to say that, man. It's hit and miss.
They want brown, they want red, they want, And so I said, you want Mama's, that's what you want. So let me. So we worked on that together, and all the recipes we sit there and taste. And my only rule is this: taste. If I don't like it, it don't go on the menu. I know good food.
No doubt.
Fortunately, so does he.
No doubt.
But we taste it and we play with it and and scratch our heads but. It's good.
And that's why the whole country or cool or soul food, is like such a win-win, because like right now, a lot of those secrets and stuff are going to the graves.
Mm-hmm.
And so, somebody's got to keep that going. Like, like Chinese food, they keep repeating that story. Italian food, they keep repeating that story. Mexican food keeps repeating that story.
Sure.
But that cool country is going to the grave. A lot of people are not.
Those kids ain't cooking anymore.
No,
right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So we've got to.
But they sure eat it.
They did.
But that's what I'm saying. But you got to keep it.
Yeah, you got to keep it fresh in your mind.
You got to keep it on the dome.
Yeah.
And so with so many degrees of separation now with food, between the drive-in, people not sitting down eating as a family.
Yep. I just did a story on that.
All these people are staying at home.
Hang on just a minute. I want to talk about that for a minute.
Weird.
I cannot, when I see those commercials for Grubhub and all that food that they're ordering and being carrying, I cannot figure out for the life of me how that stuff is going to be fresh and could taste good. Half the stuff that I see on TV, you can't package it and spend 30 minutes in a car, 20 minutes in a car and have it taste right. What are they doing?
But that's one of the degrees of separation. That's part of the whole story of them not sitting at the table, fresh, hot off the stove.
Yeah,
prepared with somebody's hands of love in the family.
Well, my daughter, when I first opened Rio Mambo, I didn't want to cater anyone.
Was Brian Irvin the first one?
Exactly.
I remember I used to go to the
I didn't want to cater anywhere because I didn't want you to eat my food for the first time in the middle of the field that was cooked 2 hours ago.
Right.
And but about 3 years ago, the whole parking lot, customer parking only for to-go parking only. Yeah. I just wasn't into that. I mean, first come, first serve,
Yeah.
But for me to be right, a lot of people have to be wrong,
Yeah.
So I kept on watching, 4 spaces, 10 spaces, I'm like, So about 3 years ago, I told my daughter who handles the marketing, I said, we just need to get feet first into this third-party catering, this third-party delivery system, So DoorDash, Grubhub, Favor, Uber Eats. I mean, all of them, we just got, and
done well.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. We've got there's concepts in the morning called oh goodness. I'll think of it in a minute, but they deliver specifically the medical industry.
Sure.
And
that's got to be good.
It is. It's
just, they don't ever have time to leave.
No, exactly. Yeah. But to your point, we sit there and I study a lot of different restaurants and we spend a premium amount on our packaging.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that's a big part of it.
It is. Yeah. And yet I can go some very famous restaurants, very popular restaurants who I have a lot of respect for. And they're popping that stuff out in styrofoam and T-shirt bags.
Yeah.
And I just know my food travels well. But when you get it home, if you have enchiladas, you're going to want to heat it. Yeah. So we have heating instructions, whether it's fajitas or nachos or all that stuff. And so we're going to do the same thing here. So when it gets home, you can pop it in. If you're going to do the microwave, we don't like the microwave, but here's what you do with the microwave because we know they're going to do it.
Right.
So let me tell them how to do it so they don't ruin it. But here's the best way to do it. Oven at 350, and but it's a new deal because people are.
I guess you got to kind of figure out and what works and what doesn't work. The packaging is the biggest thing. Though.
It is. It really is because you got to transport that stuff and. You don't know the guy transporting it. So.
And you know what? Yeah. And that's crazy you should say that, man. That's just like, these people that's showing up taking the food, you're just like, man, good Lord.
Well, I look over and, being restaurateur for many years and being in that background, that's the only thing that bothered me was how they're going to transport it. But also, too, I go into these restaurants and this kitchen stuff, and I see these different machines from different companies. I guess does everybody have their own machine? The Uber Eats, all of it.
Yeah, there's another company now. I believe it's called Chow. There's some that are trying to bring it all together. So you don't have each different percentage charge, and so yeah, it's changing every 6 months.
Challenging, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like anything else. It's evolving. The technology is evolving, making it simpler and simpler for the guest to to engage it and utilize
Sure.
it, and for us to be able to get out the door, because early on, driver shows up, we don't have the order, and but now it's
Right.
everything's in the clouds and so forth.
Well, let me ask you a question. Have you noticed, have sales because of that gone up any? I mean, has they stayed level? I mean,
There is definitely some increase. There's no doubt about it. For the amount, but there is a lot of trade off as well.
That's why I was just fixing to ask you trade off.
Absolutely.
About coming in and I got you.
Absolutely, yeah. Because people, rather than jumping in the car and going down, sitting on a patio, or eating dinner in the bar or whatever, hey, I want to watch TV here, and I'm just kind of tired.
Yeah.
In the past, they really didn't have that kind of option.
They didn't have an option.
No,
yeah.
pizza.
Yeah.
Right.
Now they can have they can get prime steak. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter which restaurant.
No,
So if you're not involved in it and doing it, and then doing it really, really well, and believe me, the cost of packaging, good packaging, we have the highest line of packaging.
Is it the plastic?
The clear plastic
clear
that's
plastic, you see the
microwavable,
food.
but
Yeah.
then we take that and we saran wrap it so it doesn't come out, so it maintains heat, so it doesn't slosh around. We really studied how to do it, because I'm pretty.
You have to be.
Yeah, I know you're gonna get this food. I know I'm gonna make it. It's gonna order it,
And you're going to want to taste the same as you when you came to my restaurant.
Absolutely.
They don't want to hear excuses. They just want to taste the same.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I don't care if I ordered it 20 minutes ago and the guy stopped at 4 other places.
Yeah,
on my
it's
way.
not my problem.
No, it's and it's they're not mad at Uber Eats.
No.
So our name's on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good thing, I think.
And it's also, I mean, it is so important too, like just to make sure all elements are in the bag, because your sauces are usually on the side and stuff. So you want to make sure everything gets there, and nothing's left out.
Yeah,
because
now-
they will call.
And y'all sell pizza at the Realm too, correct?
We do.
Oh yeah.
Now does your kind of pizza, your ovens, does your kind of pizza travel well?
It does.
Yeah, it really
Okay.
does. As a matter of fact, some guests, it's an educational process.
Yeah.
But I can par bake a pizza. You can go home,
Gotcha.
put it in your oven
Gotcha.
for, less than 10 minutes, and it looks like it's coming out of my oven. And so, we talk to guests about that, the best way. But if the guests aren't willing, they don't have an oven, or they're in an apartment, they don't want to worry about it. It does travel well, but it goes back to who's traveling with it. And I will tell you that early on, some of the people of these companies were a little questionable, but more and more, they're pretty sharp people.
I don't think they can stay in business if they don't get it figured out.
No, exactly.
Yeah, especially with that the way it is. Okay, so your cocktail menu down there, you said you're doing cocktails too?
Yes, sir.
And are they various kind of are they
Yeah,
creative
craft cocktails. We get the Marilyn Monroe going on, Xana's Cosmo. We just have fun with it, and it's really funny because Xana's my wife, Rosanna. We're grandparents, but we refuse to let him call us grandpa and grandma. So I'm Mambo, she's Xana. And it's really funny. Our number one cocktail is Xana's Cosmo, and my wife doesn't drink, But
Right.
Oh boy.
yeah, but she wanted her name on the menu, so she got it. But no, we again every quarter or so we're playing with different cocktails. We haven't done with Keith yet. We've done a tequila dinner, and we've done we've done a tequila dinner, and we've done 2 tequila dinners. We're going to do a.
What were the tequila dinners like?
I'm sorry, tequila dinner. We did a Republic of Texas.
Okay.
And 4 course. The chef would present 4 course. We usually have about 40 or 50 people. Then we did a wine dinner.
Is it a different tequila with every course?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's just fun and educational.
Yeah.
It's very very interactive.
It's an experience.
Yeah, it is. It is. And listen, the chef is center stage. The chef,
Yeah.
and of course whoever's presenting the beverage. And so we're going to do a whiskey dinner here, and then probably in August. And we'll talk about it. But it's just it's fun. It's taking food, beverage. It's taking people.
For sure.
And we have some regulars who just love doing that.
Isn't it amazing how the last 15 years, this is what I tell everybody, food has become like a rock star, and the chefs that make her now celebrities. And I've just seen this evolve, especially the last 10 years. It's really gotten big. I think it's social media and Food Network, but it's amazing how it's transformed.
Well, I like the fact that Keith can leave the kitchen and go out and talk with people at the table about the food, where it's from, how he does it, and just interact, right? Because people enjoy
Engagements.
that. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and he's always been that way. And but so this is a you know that. Yeah.
So I got a funny story. I love to tell stories. I came by Buttons one day and he was slaying, man. I was sitting out there and I said, "Hey man, tell Keith I want to say hi to him." Hey, we're going to go to a break real quick. We'll be back in about 3 minutes and 3 seconds. We'll be back.
See you.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Dr. Ken Brown here, host of Gut Check Project with my co-host Eric Rieger. Eric, we've been seeing Mojo guys over there and over here at Spoony talk about Atrantil for bloating. I've seen in my practice that Atrantil is a whole lot more than just a bloating product.
Yes, it does a whole lot more than just fix bloating because of the polyphenols that you find in Atrantil.
You're exactly right. The polyphenols are those molecules that we find in the Mediterranean diet. It makes vegetables and fruits very colorful. What are some of the things that these polyphenols do, Eric?
These polyphenols can actually stop inflammation. They can help you have more energy. They can help you with anti-aging. And polyphenols are great for athletes.
It sounds like it's going to help a whole lot more people than just bloating. Tell me how everybody should be taking Atrantil.
If you want to dose Atrantil, it's 2 capsules 3 times a day, basically with your meals. But if you aren't bloated and you just want that polyphenol intake every day, 2 to 3 capsules a day will work for you.
Go to lovemytummy.com/Spoony.
He knows I'm working it out.
And so we're back again on this great network, Spoony. I still can't figure and we're back again on Spoony. I still can't figure out how I got my own show, but boy, it's doing well. So we're back on Spoony now. We got some of the dishes out here from the rim, which is awesome. So, Keith, let's talk about these a little bit. I want everybody to see these.
Yeah.
Don't focus on these dishes right here.
Okay, so that right there.
Which one is this, Keith?
That would be the shrimp and grits. About to pour it down onto my Birkenstocks.
I see some pork belly there.
And that is pork belly. And I got some over easy eggs, the Holy Trinity, the peppers, celery, onions.
Boy, it looks delicious. Look at that shrimp.
You got to talk about them grits too, man.
Yeah.
The grits. Those grits started off at Ellington's.
Yep.
It started off at
Okay,
Ellington's.
that's awesome.
Yep. And there was a cat named Bob Iman. He used to come in there all the time.
Yeah.
I want grits, Keith. Grits. And he still does that. He tells why he's always, and he tells that story. So it'd be the heat of the battle. We're getting smashed.
Yeah.
On a Friday night, and Bob would come in there wanting some grits. I would stop and go make grits for Bob.
And so these grits been around a while. Then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they've been around a minute.
So what's all on the grits?
Well, it's got peppers, celery, and then a little that good sauce.
Well, the cheese grits.
Yeah, they cheese grits. Yeah.
I know you want to give the whole secret
the type
away,
of cheese is shrimp. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how we do it.
That's some big shrimp too.
Oh yeah, that's those 10-15s, baby.
And I love. I'm a big pork belly guy.
Oh man,
pork belly's made a huge comeback in the last 10 years too.
It has.
Yeah.
Appetizer in dishes everywhere.
And I think that's because of all the barbecue shows and the chefs doing all the stuff with the pork belly and making it thick and cut. And it's just
well, for those who've had the PBLT, the pork belly bacon and lettuce, it's getting ready to take another jump.
That's a dish down to rim.
PBLT, yeah. We do a PBLT.
Yeah.
Pork belly, bacon, lettuce, tomato.
It is it's turned up.
But yeah,
is it thick or is it thin?
It's thick.
Okay.
It's thick.
Keith
it's Ferguson size.
He understands pork belly.
Yeah, so we about to raise the roof up on that. Make it all Jesus, make it all cool, which is all good.
All right. So what is this dish right here?
That is Z Crawfish Etouffee.
Look at that.
Look at that. And I know it looks a little dark, but it's not gumbo.
No,
Trust
it looks
me, you'll know
great.
the difference. The mud puppies are swimming around in there, but it's those spices, man,
It looks great.
that turns it up a notch.
Yeah.
And trust me, that plate right there
It looks good.
is very cool. All right. Yeah.
That looks great. This is is this new to the menu too, or has it been on there?
No, we rolled that out Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So
He
that's all
called me
cool.
Friday, say, "Hey, can we do some etouffee tomorrow?"
So how did it do?
Oh man, it blew it out.
That's
out.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yesterday too. All day.
Yep.
You did some yesterday, but
Still
it was
rocking.
awesome. It was awesome.
People are digging the etouffee. Yes,
Yeah.
they are. Yes, they are.
So I want to tell you, I want to talk some more of the menu, but I want to tell you the stories. But Keith always likes to go out and talk to people, and he was getting slammed, and I knew he was getting. Man, they had all people waiting. I mean, they were just slammed, and I said, I hadn't seen Keith, and I said, tell that son of a bitch. I said, come out here. I want to say hi to him. He didn't come out. I walked about, and he said, Trey, I can't go out. I can't make that walk right now. It'll be 3 hours out there talking to all those people.
That's happened.
I got to run a kitchen.
That happens.
Yeah, because you can't like put your blinders on and go straight
Right.
to one person.
No, you
because
can't, because they all
people
grab
like-
you. Keith.
It's like this the whole time. So
Yeah.
you got to make sure all your stuff is turned off.
Yeah.
All your ducks are in a row
Yeah.
before you make that walk.
Expose all empty. Yeah.
Expose all empty.
Yeah.
Dishwasher's doing his thing.
Yeah. That's
Tell him the dishwasher story. You remember that?
Yeah, you did.
That dishwasher.
Yeah.
We was like, boy, you better get your ass back there and wash them damn dishes.
Yeah.
Somebody out there. He was
He was dancing.
out there dancing, working the room. I'm like, I was sitting there talking to Trash like, is that my dishwasher? I was like, wait, hold the hell up, Trey. I'll be back in a minute.
The dishes were staying. This kid was there dancing with all the women.
Well,
Yeah, well, hey, he was.
That happens.
Yeah. And I mean, it was just a crazy. But I mean, in the restaurant business, and I tell people all the time, the restaurant business is the microcosm of life.
It is.
If you can
I agree
survive
with you.
those four walls, because you go in there, liquor's there,
Right.
women are there,
Right.
dudes are there.
Right.
I'm quite sure if you look hard enough, you can find, some drugs or whatever. It's all
Seedy
in the four.
stuff.
Seedy stuff you're not supposed to be doing.
That's right.
Gluttonous is
Yeah.
all there.
Yeah.
And when we turn our key, we're surrounded by this all day.
Yep.
It's not like everybody else that comes in there for happy hour.
No. It's
This
the
is
number
what
one
we do this
profession.
all day. And so if you can survive those four walls,
Yep.
outside those four walls, it's easy. It's
That's
easy.
the number one profession for alcoholics now.
The microcosm of life.
Police officers or the security service business. I don't know. It's kind of funny, but yeah. So what? Real quick, I'm gonna give the rundown on the menu. You got.
And we didn't talk about the messy.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Messy.
Hey, don't trip on the messy. Don't let the smooth. Hold up, yo. Hold up. Don't let the smooth taste fool you on this one. This one here is a beast. It's got that jalapeno mayo.
Oh, that's
3
good.
meats, a demi, brown gravy. A brown gravy, Jay Novacek, you would be proud of. I know you like your brown gravy. And then it's got the shredded lettuce. But this is off the chain.
What's it called? The hot messy.
It's called the messy.
The messy.
Yeah, it's the real
That's
deal.
awesome.
Okay.
I love the tray it's
Messy, much love. Represent, baby. Represent.
on. So you got pizza dinner too.
Yes.
Hamburgers, obviously.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hamburgers.
For sure.
And then you're going to bring a new item out about every 10 days.
we do a tenderloin. He does a hell of a tenderloin.
Oh, yeah, tenderloin. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's our goal. Like,
I love
since we
tenderloins.
we did some steaks
Yeah.
back in the day,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's no need of them cats turning the corner, taking 35 north. That's right. Coming to get a damn good steak.
That's right.
They can stop right there on that corner.
Yeah.
Do
And
it.
we're going to make sure that happens.
Amen.
That'd
Watch.
be awesome.
Watch.
That'll be awesome. That'll be
Watch.
awesome. That's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do you have your craft cocktail? You have a menu? Is it something that they change those up seasonally, or how do they do that?
Yeah, but about every 3 months,
Yeah.
we add and subtract. Again, something's got to come off or go on.
Right,
yeah.
We're not trying to overcomplicate it.
You
Right.
can't. That
Right.
craft cocktails take a lot of space. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And your bartenders do that, or y'all come up with those? How do you do that?
No, bartenders. We
Yeah.
it's like the chefs. We
Yeah.
we involve everybody. And they're very enthusiastic about it. They want to show. Customers are asking them, "Hey, I had this," and we call it the Teddy B burger.
Oh, Teddy B.
Representing Teddy B.
Teddy
He
B.
came home from Kansas City, told me about a burger he had, best burger he ever had, and I said, "Well, we can do that better than they can."
What is it? Tell me
It's
what
a
it is.
hamburger with coleslaw and barbecue brisket
Oh yeah.
and
That same
you
sauce.
can't, the same sauce, right?
You can't give the whole secret away.
No, I know. Mama taught me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But, so we listen to the customers, what they want, we really do. We're not trying to necessarily reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to put the wheel on a little different is all we're doing.
Well, plus you got a neat concept.
Yeah,
there's not another one like it in Burleson, which is good.
Yeah.
So you have the rim, but I also want to talk about Real Mambo a little bit.
Yes.
I love that concept, and I remember eating at the first one over at Brian Irving quite a bit when I used to live out in Alito,
right?
And I'd hit that, but that's the closest place.
Yes, sir.
For realistically, from Alito's coming that way,
right?
So you have how did Real Mambo start? Because you were doing a different concept before that.
Yeah, I was Mexican industry back in the '80s. Honestly, I grew up in San Antonio.
Okay.
My brother and I, he's also 6 kids. We're all in the restaurant business. 3 figured their way out. 3 of us stayed in. My sister and her husband have 2 Chick-fil-A's. My brother had
Chick-fil-A's a good business.
Oh man, bird nest on the ground.
Yeah.
I
called printing money.
No doubt. My brother had Wendy's and he sold. He's sitting pretty, he's doing real well. But we were all at some point in the restaurant business, like my mom. My mom waited tables, raising 6 kids. My dad was in the military, so was one of the others. So we wanted to open a restaurant on the San Antonio River. That's kind of where Rio came from. You know? Knowing what I know now, I would never open a restaurant on the San Antonio River.
No.
So, but it was always in my mind. So I worked with a number of different companies over the years. One of them being M Crowd, and so when we sold my interest in Ellington's, my guests were Fort Worth, Mira Vista, Alito. They were this way, and so we moved this way and found that spot. And it's kind of like a baby.
When you first started, that's the only thing there, right?
That was it. It was a closed down colonial cafeteria.
And tell them about the time, because wasn't that around 9/11?
We opened on 9/11. We went through some struggles with it, but just like I've done with Keith. We focus on great service. We focus on really fresh ingredients. Real Mambo stood for relationships matter. And we always talked about that at Ellington's, and I really believe in building relationships. That's what we do for a living. And what's cool about my relationship with Keith is I'm building the relationships and he's feeding the soul. He's all about keeping those relationships by bringing them together with food, beverage, music, and
but
that's why we don't work. We don't work a day in our life. We love what we do.
Now it's also have a relationship with customers.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Or they won't come back.
No.
They have too many options now.
Right.
When I was a boy, there wasn't a whole lot of options. That when there was not that many. And now there's options every 20 feet. It seems like.
Well, the relationship starts right here.
Right.
Can we work together? And then can we get staff who understands and we respect them? Because if you don't have that, then how can you expect them to turn around and do that to your guests?
That's right.
So if you can't build relationships and interact with people and show that kind of respect and that kind of passion, and you can't train care, you got to care.
Yeah.
And we do. That's what's fun about it. That's what makes our whole thing, just like a hand in glove. We got back on the bicycle. We didn't miss a step.
We were talking. I have the show. I feature a lot of chefs. I feature celebs and celebrity mixologists.
Yes, sir.
And we were talking 3 weeks ago I was talking with a chef about how back at the house has changed, where it used to in the 60s, 70s, the chefs the atmosphere was you'd be scared to work. They would scare you to. And nowadays, all that screams up. You can't keep a kitchen help. And so nowadays, it's turned to more relationship, more communication, more working together as team effort, not being scared to work right there. And that's changed the whole industry too, I think.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's wild. It's really wild. Your cooks come from all walks of life too. So
and
I find it very hard to scream at people that are carrying around knives.
Well, first of all, they're doing a job nobody else wants to do hardly.
Right.
And it's hard to find people to do that job nowadays anyway. It's hard to find people to work, period, to do anything. Right. And so just to holler and scream at them, just not a...
No, and here's the deal.
They need to be feel wanted.
This is probably true about any position, Trey, but I find that cooks or even kitchen people that are successful, they have a tremendous amount of pride.
Right.
Yes.
That's the key. Anything else, you can teach them, use a knife, you can teach them all that.
Right.
But if they don't have pride in what they're doing and they do that every single time consistently, kind of have a hard time having pride when you're not being respected, you know?
Right.
And so, those relationships in the kitchen, just all the way around. But pride is the number one thing, because they're the ones putting the food in the window.
Yeah.
Right.
So we've been really fortunate. I've got guys been working with our company for 20 years in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Literally in the kitchen. Eloy Reyes is my executive chef at Rio Mambo.
Yeah.
Hippolito Montalvo, he started when he was...
You say that well.
He started when he was from San Antonio. Yeah, hablas en español, So, no, listen, he started, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but he was 14 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
He told me he was 16.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he washed dishes. He was your dishwasher down at Mambo's Tapas Cantina. Big tall guy.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
right.
he's 34 years old now, and
Damn.
he's got 5 kids and a wife,
Yeah.
and he's running the ballpark location. He's amazing,
Yeah.
And so these guys are able to grow in, and that's what we try to offer is, everyone's life's getting better. And and you treat them that way, and you give them an opportunity. And honestly, our growth at Rio Mambo wasn't stemmed by the fact that I want signs everywhere. It really wasn't. I woke up one day and my goal was to put my kids through college, and I'd done that. And I looked around me and got Eloy, this guy right here, and he got a lot of kids to put through college.
Yeah.
So every time we've opened a new location, I say, listen, it's not about more money. I can't work any more than I'm working.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to do this?
Yeah.
This is what it's going to take, but you're going to have to do it, And guys say yes. So they get to run their own kitchens. They get to run their own business. And listen, if you can run my business and be successful, one day you'll run your own, and hopefully it will be yours.
Right.
So
Right.
You've got you started. That was the first one.
Yes, sir.
But you didn't have plans to do any other ones.
No.
That was, and you've got 7 now.
Yes, sir.
And what are all the locations for those?
There's 2 in Arlington, Ballpark in Arlington, South Arlington.
See, I have not been to the one at Ballpark.
Yeah, it's right there on
nice.
Ballpark Way and
is it up front where?
Ballpark Way in Lamar. We're on the north side of I-30.
Okay.
Off of Ballpark Way in Lamar.
Okay.
And then the South Cooper, we're all the way out in Weatherford, which has been an outstanding
How's it
community to serve.
doing well out there?
Oh yeah, it's been doing really well. When we opened that location, I probably said no 4 times. It's Bible Belt out there, and it took a long time for them to get liquor out there. But
liquor's a key factor.
We opened those doors, and they've been coming ever since.
Awesome.
Great community, and of course Burleson. We're in Burleson.
Sure.
My second location was Colleyville. We opened in Colleyville.
How's that one doing?
It's doing real well. It was again talking about by chance. I just saw it. Dropped my daughter off at school, and I saw it looked a little tired. It was at Wings and More. So it was a little tired.
Yeah,
the grass, the neon.
Yeah.
And I just
you
called.
can tell.
Yeah, I just called and said, hey, I really like y'all's building. Who's y'all's architect? And next thing you know, the owner calls me, and I try to kind of, pursue that. He goes, listen, something you told my secretary indicates that you're interested in my building. Well, kind of guilty, And so literally that was on a Tuesday. We had a deal on Thursday. 30 days later, he gave me the keys and all the equipment. That was in 2005, and so we've been serving that community for almost 15 years.
Does.
Yeah, amen. But it's fun. It's an adventure. I think I mentioned to you a little bit earlier about we have a joint venture, if you will, at the airport.
Which terminal is that in?
It's in the international airport.
Okay, the big one.
Yes, sir.
2-story.
Yes, sir. Star Concessions does an awesome job. Gilbert Aranza, who's the president of Star Concessions, is a great operator. He's got great people. Molly Standridge, Andre. They've got some great people.
You got to love what you do to run a bunch of different concepts.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and that's right. That's right. I mean, and they do. They understand airports.
You know what? Tell people that listen now that don't know anything about running a restaurant business in an airport. Tell us a little bit about what that's like. Tell like the knives. Tell the.
Well, let's start with the employee. The employee market. The employee market. Those guys go through a stringent background check, and we're not just talking E-Verify.
Yeah,
they go through a federal background check to get this. So you got to figure out how many people can pass a federal background check. Then they got to park at a place that they got to be there an hour ahead of time of their schedule. I'm trying to get my guys there on time, maybe 5 minutes early. They got to be there an hour because they got to transport from that location into the restaurant, and then they've got to badge in and then come to work.
Damn.
So that's an hour at the beginning of your day and 45 minutes on the end of your day just getting to and from the parking lot, not from your house. Number 2, there's any number of regulations, and I was talking to you earlier about the knives, and it's a good thing. I mean,
safety.
Safety. All your equipment's got to come through security. So let's just say I'm using 15 knives, cook's knives. We're not talking about butter knives, cook's knives. They inventory every one of those. At the end of the day, they come in, they count every single one of them. You roll them up, you put them in the safe. You can't open that safe in the morning until they come. and they come around every morning about 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, open the safe, count them again, and that's how they manage it. I can tell you 15 more, 20 more, 30 more, how many of you want it. We don't have enough time, but the regulations there, running our business is a challenge at best, But
so at an airport, and the reason I say this to you is because when we were friends, we had 125. We had Dairy Queens, had some church fried chickens, and my dad in the 80s bet on the restaurants to go in the terminals out at DFW, Dairy Queens and churches. Yeah, and he didn't get it, but I remember reading all the regulation stuff, and that was minuscule at that time compared to this now.
Well, I read a contract. My first question after I talked to somebody who knew a lot about the airports, I said, "Well, send me a contract," and the contract was about 2 inches thick. Yeah, and it's legalese, but there's so many things. And when you really think about each regulation, there's just a reason for it in today's climate,
But you're really running two operations. You're running a restaurant, right? And you're running the security operations or the operations for the airport.
That's correct.
For both for one restaurant.
Yeah, and employees cannot leave the space unless the employees have a badge to be in that restricted area. But once they get to your restaurant, they can't leave the space and go to the restroom without someone taking them there.
Oh, wow.
So as an example, when I was part of the opening, I had a badge that allowed me not to only be in there, but to take people from the gate to the space. Oh, you have to go to the restroom? Let's put who else go to the restroom and walk you to the restroom.
And I guess is that something they do for security?
Oh, yeah, for security, so the wrong people don't get loose behind.
Sure.
Because once you get behind, the security deal, there's all kinds of opportunities to do, evil things, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of, and I really admire and respect how they do it because, as I spoke to you earlier, some quality staff back there who are really dedicated. And I've got a girl that works for me in South Arlington. She works there in the morning. I don't know when she sleeps, but man, I was getting ready to leave town one day and I was pulled up to a gate and I hear my name. I look over there and there she is working the front of all places, Papacitos.
Wow.
That hurt.
Wow, right.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
So you got the airport, and so you got 7. Right. So and then so what is, for people who don't know, if you don't know about Rio Mambo now, but some people listening aren't going to know about Rio Mambo. The menu is it's a pretty big menu.
It is. It has evolved over the years. We call it Tex-Mex and more because we do a lot of interior Mexican stuff, seafood stuff, a lot of sauteing, a lot of sauces. I'm an extra sauce guy.
Yeah.
No matter what kind of sauce it is, I want extra. So the way we do our sauces, the presentation, it's a higher level of presentation.
Sure.
Everything's cooked to the order, a la minute. And the bar's the same way. The bars, we have cocktails in the bar. Yeah. We have a full bar, but we have each restaurant has a bar that's named something a little different because the bars can stay open later than the restaurant sometimes.
Right, yeah.
And we always build them that way. But we want you to come in there, and again, all the way back to Ellington's. I'd have people open the door to Ellington's and look inside, and they're in shorts, and they look inside, they see the interior, and go to close the door. And I go, no, come on in.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not dressed. Man, you're dressed. Come on. Let's go.
Right. Yeah.
We try to put an environment where you can walk in and have a cocktail and have a good time on a Saturday. But if we do wedding receptions, we do all kinds of big events, and so you can be as high in it as you want, or you can be as casual as you want.
Nowadays, people dress down so much. It's
I wear slippers to Bob's Steakhouse. I mean, I'm
That's
not afraid of working that way.
What's up?
What's the number one things you sell at Rio Mambo on the menu?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me say, probably grilled tacos or grilled brisket tacos.
Really?
Yeah, they're the brisket's cooked overnight with peppers, some peppers, and onions. And we have a special pasilla sauce, which is a Mexican barbecue sauce. We call it Mexican barbecue sauce, but it's cooked slowly overnight. And it renders all the juices down into the meat. And the chef does an awesome job with it, and he puts it on tortillas and grills them, nice. You can do it corn or flour with some nice añejo cheese inside of them. They're amazing. And we probably do more of those than anything, even on caterings.
Yeah.
They hold well, they transfer well. So
everything
that's
is
probably
made
number
from
one.
Scratch at Rio Mambo.
Yes, sir.
As is the rim. Everything's made from scratch.
Yeah, we can roll up right up to your house, right up to your venue. We've got a trailer. We hook it up to the back of our deal. It's got a full kitchen, got a refrigeration in the back. We can set up the restaurant and cook anything you want to on site. We just did that in Colleyville at the Guitars and Stars event, and it's a lot of fun, and it goes back to the fact that I'd rather come out there and cook it right there and hand it to
Fresh.
you than cook it to you and put it in a, in a pan.
I don't like these restaurants now that are trying to do other locations, and they're heating and trying to cook it in one central little commissary, and then try it just does not taste good.
No. I can name a couple over the years here in town that have done that and have suffered because of it. I'm not going to, but especially when you commissary sauces and just start doing all this batch cooking, it's just not the same. It's just not the same.
You could do that. You can't do that anymore. People won't. The people's palates have changed. I think.
Never trust a skinny chef. Okay,
no,
you got to test everything. Listen, I tell my guys all the time, have you tasted that?
Right.
That's what difference between a cook and a chef. Cook gets a recipe, throws it together, throws it in the window. Man, a chef doesn't need a recipe. He just needs ingredients. Puts them together. He's tasting it. I'm sorry, guys. He's tasting it. We're tasting it all the way through, just like Mom does, right?
Yeah.
And so it's all about tasting. You can't put a recipe together and say, okay, put 10 of this.
No.
Produce changes. Flavor. Jalapenos change.
You got it. Yeah. Oh, jalapenos. Let me tell you what those have done.
Amen.
Oh, my.
Well, let me tell you what avocados have done. $100 a case.
Boy.
$100 a case.
How are you doing that? Have you raised? Are you just eating?
I'm getting ready to reprint my menus to say market price, like lobster.
Well, I mean, you can only bite off so much. You can only bite off so much.
Yeah. I talked to an operator yesterday. She has a Mexican restaurant downtown, and I interact with these guys. It's all the same community, and she had said she stopped serving it. So I gave her a few hints. I can't share them with everybody.
How many cases? How many avocados in a case?
Quite a few.
It varies 48 to 60.
Yep.
40
so
60.
if you divide that by 100, that's expensive. And what when you make
if you go to the store right now, they're $3 a piece.
It's if you make do you do table side walk?
Yes, of course.
Okay. How many avocados is that? 2?
Typically, it's 2. Yes, sir.
Okay. God dang it.
Yeah, it's 2. So you go to the store, and people who know who go to the grocery store, they understand it's gone up.
Yeah.
I was at a restaurant. I was checking out a restaurant this weekend. And the young lady came to me and she said, I said, I'm going to try your fajitas. And she says, would you care for guacamole with that? Which it comes with it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who don't like guacamole.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I bet 40% of our, maybe that's a little high, but I see guacamole getting thrown away. And I cringe.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you do.
I do. So now what we do is we ask, but the odd thing about that is if you're paying for guacamole in that price anyway, if you don't want guacamole, we don't charge. We don't put sour cream and cheese like a lot of restaurants do, because I don't want to charge you for something you're not going to eat.
Right. A lot of people don't eat that.
I don't eat sour cream and cheese, so I price my food at X, and if you want more, it's $1. So now what we're saying is, you get choice of 2. You get pick of the gallo, and you want sour cream, cheese, or guacamole. And people love it because a lot of people, I can get cheese because they don't eat guacamole. Yeah. My daughter's, I don't know whose daughter she is, but she says she's mine. She's allergic to avocado.
Nice.
So she doesn't touch it, So, but it's crazy. It's over 100. It's supposed to stay that way for the next month. So.
Is that for the trade stuff going on?
I think it's a little more cartel,
or it may them be messing with.
They're stopping those trucks from moving in Mexico, and it's horrible. The avocados.
The government doesn't run Mexico down there.
The avocados are just dying. I mean, just fresh avocados are dying because they can't move. They won't let them move.
Okay, so all right, guys. So the Rim, and that's RIM in Burleson. What do you have a website for the Rim?
We do www.therimrestaurant.com.
www.therimrestaurant.com. And even if you haven't gone down there, you ought to look it up, because almost everybody in this area, whether you're from Dallas, Fort Worth, Weatherford, you got to go through Burleson, you go to Austin, you come back, go to Burleson, check it out. That's www.therimrestaurant.com. Real Mambo, what's one for that? RealMambo.com?
RealMambo.com, yes, sir.
Pretty easy, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
RealMambo.com. And if you're trying to get a hold of us, as usual, it's Trey's Chowdown. That's Trey. I always say Trey with E. Don't put in Trey with A, or you're not going to find me.
Yeah.
It's Trey'sChowdown.com, and we have everything. We have our chef page, all of our live podcast on there. We have a restaurant guide. Boy, it's huge. We have one of the largest food sites in Texas now.
It's awesome.
So, we really like it. So, we will be here every Friday, next Friday, 10 o'clock. And I forget who is next Friday. I think it's Victor, Chef Victor from Fort Worth. He was awarded, one of the upcoming chefs in Fort Worth. He was fun to interview.
Well, don't let him kid you here. He's got a pretty nice little deal over here. He got nothing on. I mean, diners. What is that? Diners
driving to dives.
No, man. Trey's got it hooked up here. Trey's Chow down, and this is a cool little place he got going here.
Yeah, diners driving and jive. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's how we get down.
And Keith, man, thank you so much again for coming in.
Trey, I love you, brother.
It.
I love you.
And Brent, thank you, man.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, we'll have you back. I'm excited for y'all to get the new menu done.
Amen.
For sure.
Let's get it done. Come back and show it to you.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll have
and you'll be the first to know, Trey. You'll be the first to know.
And we're putting in we're putting another camera here so we can get zeroed down on food.
Oh, nice.
So when we come back, we'll be able to have all the food stuff, which would be kind of cool.
Cool. That'll
we'll just drag the trailer over and cook it outside.
No doubt.
Oh,
hell yeah! That's how we roll.
We got the World Food Championships coming up too. This year it's in Dallas.
Oh yeah,
first year ever in Dallas, and it is. Oh my God, it's going to be huge. I mean, it's a big deal. So y'all need to be sure you come to that.
Oh yeah, come check notes for real.
Okay, we're almost done here. Okay, and one more time, I want everybody to write this down. TheRimRestaurant.com. I want y'all to go see Keith. It's important you go down and see him. Chad Prather's coming to see you.
Chad, come on, Chad.
And then one more time, Brent, thank you. Keith, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
See y'all next week.
Trade day.
Yeah.